Hello. Welcome to your second session in our boot camp. Okay, so today we're going to be starting off with a little bit of breath work, then mobility, and then our Pilates. So let's get right into it. So, finding a nice, comfortable position. Just resting your hands down by your side. Gently close your eyes, sitting up nice and tall out of your hips. And I just want you to turn your attention towards your breath. Gently inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Gently in and gently out. Gently in and gently out. So we're going to do many small breath holds. So take one of your hands and place it just near your nose. And on your next natural exhale, you're just going to pinch your nose and count from 5 down to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very gently inhale. Exhale naturally. Inhale naturally. And on the next exhale, we're going to pinch the nose again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So a normal inhale in, nice and gentle. Nice natural exhale. Inhale. And at the end of the next exhale, let's pinch again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Inhale, and on the next exhale, pinch the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now just a nice natural breath in and out. And blink your eyes back open. Okay, hopefully you're feeling a little bit more relaxed and ready for our mobility session. So, today we're starting off our mobility with some head tilts. So with this one, you're going to be sitting up nice and tall out of your hips. Take your hand, reach to the opposite side of your head, and then you're just very gently pulling the ear down towards the shoulder. Make sure that the opposite shoulder doesn't start to creep up. You can even sit on your hand. So coming back up, and we're just going to swap sides. Sit on the other hand. Try to keep your rib cage still and really just stretching the neck. Switching sides again. And one last time. Beautiful. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is take your right hand reaches towards the back of your head, and then it's as if you're trying to get your right elbow down towards your right hip, so that tilts your head, chin tucks. But just watch what's happening with your other shoulder here. Make sure it stays still so that you're really getting that stretch down the neck. Again, you can sit on the hand if you like. So inhale to come back up. Exhale, nice slow curl down. Really pulling that elbow in towards the hip, but without tugging on your head too hard. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, coming down. As you come back up this time, we're going to switch sides. So opposite hand to the back of your head. So now my left elbow, as I exhale, is curling down towards that left hip. And making sure that my right shoulder stays down to allow me to get the most stretch that I can. Really nice stretch here. Getting down all through those traps, underneath those shoulder blades, where we get all those knots. Beautiful. Okay, so coming back up, we're going to do some shoulder dips now. So come into an all fours position on your knees. Hands are coming out wide and fingers facing out to the outside. And then what you're going to do with your abs pulled in is start to dip one shoulder down towards the mat and come back up. Dip the other shoulder down towards the mat and your head looks up towards the sky. So you're rotating your head as the shoulder comes down. You can change your hand position, mess around with it so that you're getting a nice stretch all through your shoulder and into your chest here. This one is a great one for improving posture because we loosen off the chest, which allows the shoulders to sit back. Beautiful. Okay, so from this position, we're going to move into arm threads. So with one hand down on the mat, we're going to raise the opposite hand up in the air, eyes on your fingers, and thread it through the gap. Head comes down to the floor, and we're just going to push off the back of the hand, and then coming back up, raise that hand up in the air again, and really slide it through and push off the back of the hand. Your eyes coming up towards the ceiling. With this one, you really want to try and make sure that the weight doesn't shift in your knees. So try and keep the weight even in both of your knees. Okay, and we're going to switch sides. So make sure you're nice and engaged through that other arm. So now my left arm reaches up and threads through. Head comes down and I'm pushing off the floor to get more rotation in my thoracic spine. Again, try to make sure that you've got the weight nice and even in your knees. Exhale to get a little bit more out of the stretch. Okay, coming back up this time, we're just going to be sat on our bum and we're going to start to do some hip swivels. So opening up through the hips. Okay, so with our feet out at a hip distance apart, you're going to have your hands just gently behind you, no weight in them. And then we're going to allow both knees to fall out to one side. So they fall out to one side and the body twists. And then I'm opening up from this front leg, opens up, and then the rest of the legs follow and we're swiveling over to the other side. And then turn the body. So just keep going from side to side, swiveling through. Keep your ribs tucked in. Make sure you haven't started to try and arch through your back as you twist. abs pulled in. Just nice and gentle, warming up here. When you come back round to centre this time, I just want you to reach your legs out long. And if you struggle with this one, find something to sit on just to elevate your bum. Okay, so feet are flexed. And then we've got our hands down on the floor in front of us. And I'm going to start to drive my right elbow up and reach back. My eyes follow my hands. Come back to centre. Driving my left elbow up, reaching back. Coming back in. Make sure the shoulders don't start to hunch towards your ears. You want to keep them down and back. And you're only rotating until the point where it really stiffens. It doesn't matter where that point is. That's why we do mobility. And over the course of the 5 weeks, you're going to find you get more and more rotation. And you're going to love it. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to come back round into that all fours position. And this time we're going to do some hip drops. So with this one, I pick up my right leg, it comes across to my left hand side and my hip drops down to the mat. Come across to the other side, pick my left leg up, toes come down, hip drops. You'll notice that my hands don't move. I'm just really moving from the hips here, opening them up. Really feels good. Opens up all through your pelvis, through the sacrum. Beautiful. When you come back to centre next time, put your feet together, part your knees out wide, and we're just going to do some child's pose, but with a wave. So we're in our child's pose with hands outstretched, head down, and then we're just going to start to raise up between the shoulder blades, curving our way forward, hips are driving forward, hips come down slightly, and we're curling up. And now curl the head back in, upper body curves, and we're coming all the way back to our child's pose, a nice wave. Just keep going through. So the upper body raises up, and then the hips come down, and then we're extending through that upper part of our spine. And then flexing. Coming back down. Let's do one more. Up. Down. Okay, coming up. And down. Alright, and now use your hands to slowly push yourself back up. And we're just going to do some little ankle rolls. So, from this kneeling position, I just want you to come up, and we're just going to do 5 each side, rolling through the ankle. You can use your other hand to push you up. Okay, switch sides. Alright, raising up. 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 2 more. Up. And up. Beautiful. So, I'm going to get you to lie down on the mat with your knees bent, feet on the floor. Hands are just relaxed down by your side. And I'm going to talk you through the T-zone, spinal position, breathing, and our cues. I'm going to keep drilling these into you every session so that you really get in the right mind frame before we do our Pilates exercises. Okay, so T-zone, remember, so T-zone, we're pulling that pelvic floor up. We're driving across hip bone to meet, and then we're flattening down. So get those fingers inside your hip bones and just keep going through it. So tightening through the T-zone, lifting up, drawing hip bone to hip bone, and then flattening down. Relax. T-zone tight. Relax. T-zone tight. Up, hip bone to hip bone, flatten down. You should be feeling that slight contraction underneath your fingers. So we're pulling up as if we're trying to stop from going to the loo. Hip bone to hip bone, and then flatten down. As if you're trying to shorten the gap between your two hip bones. That's what you're feeling like you're doing before you flatten. Beautiful. Pulling up, across, flatten down. Okay, so next thing, make your diamond with your hands. The heel of your hand goes on the hip bones, fingertips on your pubic bone. Find that neutral spine. So remember, that means that we're completely horizontal. And then when we imprint the spine, so lower abs, pull the spine down towards the mat, fingertips raise. Go back into neutral, imprint, neutral, imprint, neutral, imprint. Beautiful. So feeling that nice natural curve as you're in a neutral, and then feeling that impression on the mat increasing as you go into imprint. Beautiful. Okay, so hands are now going towards our ribs. We're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. So as we inhale, the ribs expand into the hands. And as we exhale, out through the mouth, the ribs are gliding down towards the hips. Feel them closing down. Inhale, expand. Exhale, gliding down. Inhale, expand. Exhale, gliding down. So remember, that's our rib to hip cue. Rib to hip, shortening the gap between that lowest rib and the hips. Okay, so the other cues that we'll talk through, shoulders down and back. So remember, that means where you'd have your bra clasped on the back of your, on your back, is where you're kind of concentrating on that point and pulling down towards your bum, which pulls your shoulders down. Okay, releases any tension in your neck. And then chin tucked, or lengthen the crown. So remember, this is our crown right at the back here, where you'd have a ponytail or something. And you're finding length. So you're increasing the amount of length between the base of your neck and that point, which naturally tucks your chin. So you're not over tucking and you're not extended. Okay? Awesome. So now that we're all feeling a bit more comfortable with the cues and everything that I'm going to be using today, we are going to get straight into our first exercise, which is going to be an ab curl. Okay, so you've got this position, same setup, and I just want you to really take your time to make sure you've got that T-zone on tight. Fingertips are just going to come behind your head here. Okay, elbows nice and wide. So we inhale, tighten that T-zone. As you exhale, curl your head first. Head curls, and then the upper body curls. Curl, curl, curl. Eyes between the knees. And then inhale, come back down. Tighten the T-zone. Exhale, curling up. Shorten that gap between the ribs and the hips. Inhale, come back down, tighten that T-zone. You should have a nice neutral spine here, so remember that feeling of that natural curve. You're not tucking your bum under, not imprinting your spine. Really want you to squeeze your ab muscles to curl you up. So head curls first, and then we squeeze from the abs to get more curl up. There's no tension in the shoulders or the neck. It's all an ab squeeze. Inhale, coming back down. Reset that T-zone every time, because we drop it. It's really easy to drop the T-zone. Coming up with an exhale. Inhale, come back down. So you need to make this one a bit easier. Then just take a bit more of a rest and really reset your body in between. If you want to make it a bit harder, let's hold up. Hold up here. Squeeze the abs. Really shorten that gap between the lowest rib and the hip. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And inhale, come back down. Let's do a quick body scan. Chin still tucked, shoulders down and back. Got a neutral spine, T-zone tight. Finding grounding through the feet. And exhale, curl the head and then the upper body up. And come back down and rest. So we're just going to advance this one into oblique curls. So obviously still working on abs, but a little bit more into those obliques now. So this time, same setup, T-zone nice and tight, neutral spine. As we exhale, we're going to start to bring our right shoulder towards our left hip. Elbows stay wide. Inhale, come back down to the center and reset the T-zone. Exhale, curling the head up first and then the upper body, really bringing that shoulder across the opposite hip. This is a much smaller move than you might be used to if you've done a lot of like bicycles and things. This is really small. So exhale, coming up, shoulder crunches across the opposite hip, really shortening that gap in your side. Inhale, come back down. Make this one easier. Just take a little bit more of a break. Don't try and go across as far. To make it harder, you're going to really squeeze across and hold. 2, 3. Inhale, come back to the center but don't rest down. Exhale, coming across to the other side. 2, 3. Inhale, back to center but not resting down. Exhale, coming across. Really think about the shoulder driving towards the hip instead of the elbow. And your eyes should be just coming just past your knees here. Remember, you can always take the rest option. Reset the T-zone, check your body, chin tucked, lengthen the crown, shoulders down and back, neutral spine. T-zone tight. Okay, so you can rest back down there. We're going to move into some leg slides. So take your arms, they can just rest down by your side with this one. And same setup. So our chin is tucked, shoulders down and back. We've still got that nice neutral spine. We have got a tight T-zone. And with an exhale this time, we're going to start to glide one heel away from us. Inhale, contract the T-zone, pull it back in, swap side. Exhale, think about that rib to hip. Inhale, really tighten through the T-zone as you drag that heel back in. Exhale, rib to hip. So make sure your eye gaze isn't straight up. You should be kind of looking at the ceiling up past your knees, and that means that you've got a nice gentle chin tuck there. Absolutely no tension in the shoulders. Shoulder blades drawing down and back. Really ground through the other heel as you glide away. Inhale, tightening back in. You want to make this one easier, just don't go quite as far out. You want to make it a bit harder, you could do a little leg raise as you get to the end of your extended leg. So you get to the end and do a little leg raise. And come back in, but make sure you're not arching through your back at all. Should be really tight in the T-zone, no bulging out. Gliding out. This is your last one here. Okay, so we're going to imprint the spine, so remember what that feels like. Pulling that down one leg at a time, bringing those legs up into tabletop, hip distance apart. Okay, hands are coming back behind our head. We're going into those oblique curls again. Okay, so T-zone is tight, chin tucked, shoulders down and back. As we exhale, we're going to curl the head up first still, then the upper body, and then it's as if we're trying to really drag the rib across to the opposite hip. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center. Check that T-zone still tight. Exhale. Rib to opposite hip. Make sure you're not straining your neck here, that you're really curling up from the abs. If you are feeling neck pain, then just create a bit more of a hammock with your hands, or rest back down in between, reset the T-zone, curl the head back up, and then you can do shortening the gap, resting back down, curling up and across. Keep going with this one. You'll be starting to feel a little bit of fire in those obliques now. See what I mean? Small moves, big results. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Really thinking about that lower rib going to the opposite hip. Exhaling to curl. Inhale, coming back to center, tightening that T-zone, curling across. Okay, resting your head back down. Maintain that imprinted spine, but squeeze your legs together this time. Hands are coming up ahead of you, palms facing your knees. Okay, and this time, T-zone is tight with the inhale. As we exhale, the arms are going to reach up overhead. Inhale to bring them back to the starting position. Really squeeze your legs together in tabletop here. Tighten through that T-zone. And remember, ribs to hips as you exhale and reach to stop any arching in your back. Inhale, come back up. Squeeze those legs together. Tighten through that T-zone. Imprinted spine still. As you reach this time, really think about imprinting the spine, imprinting the spine. The spine doesn't move off the mat. Just focus on that for a couple of sweeps. Notice how that really fires your abs up. So chin is tucked, shoulders are down and back. Really hug the arms into the shoulder socket as the arms reach. We're not hunching up here. Maintain that imprint. Exhaling to sweep and reach. You can put your legs down here. If you're starting to get tired, then you just put one leg down at a time. Go back into a neutral spine, and then we're reaching still, but without arching. Okay, so this is how you make it a bit easier. Make sure you're not arching. Coming back in. Chin is tucked. Eye gaze is up past the knees. Last one here. And we're going to roll over onto our side. You'll be glad the abs part of this is over. And we're into our clams. So, nice long line between the hand, the shoulders, the hips and the heels, okay? Knees are both on top of each other out the front. Your head is just resting on your arm. You've got your shoulders stacked one on top of the other and your hips stacked one on top of the other. And we are squeezing those heels together, T-zone tight with an inhale, and then exhale, heel this top leg away from the other one, but only as far as you can before you want to start to rock back. And then inhale, bring those knees back together, squeeze the heels, tighten the T-zone, and exhale, opening up. And closing back down. Every time you come back down, reset that T-zone. Pull it up, really pulling that pelvic floor up. Exhale, open, squeezing those heels. Put your hand on your booty, give it a squeeze, Make sure it's on. Really tightening through the T-zone. This is, again, is a really small movement. This time, as you open up your legs, really shorten that gap between the ribs and hips. Notice how that gives you so much more control and power when you do that. Inhale, tighten the T-zone, coming back down. Exhale, ribs to hips. Corset is on. Inhale, coming back down. Tightening the T-zone. Okay, we're going to advance this move. Okay, we're going to really burn out the booty. So, this time we're actually inhaling to open, and you're going to exhale, extend the top leg out long in line with your hip. Okay, so you can put your arm down your body to make sure that your leg is coming out at that hip level. And then inhale, heels come back together. Notice legs are still apart. And then exhale, knees together. Keep flowing through. Opening with the inhale. Extend with the exhale. Keep that rib to hip. No flaring. And then inhale, coming back. And exhale, knee to knee. So keep going. Opening with the inhale. Make sure again you're not rocking back. Keep those hips stacked. You can drive one finger or two fingers into your hips to make sure that they're not rocking back. Staying nice and lifted in this underneath waist. You don't want to be collapsing back down into the mat here. Nice, opening up, stretching out. Find length as you stretch. This is where we get the beautiful long toned muscles. Opening up, extending out, bringing those heels back together and knees back together. Okay, so our T-zone's super tight. We are squeezing that glute. Get your hand on it. Check it's contracting. Feel what it's doing as you go through the movement. There's no shame in touching yourself up here. And come back down. Okay, so the last move we're going to do on this side is going to be circles. So again, working this booty. So I just want you to be in a very similar position that you are, but you're just going to extend that leg out at hip level. You've got your knee straight to the wall in front of you. Okay, so same nice long line, and then as we exhale, so T-zone's tight, and exhale, start to draw circles with your heel. Now you pay real attention to what's going on with your ribs, your spine, and your hips. You want to try and keep that all as solid as you can. So your ribs are nicely pulled down towards your hips. You've got those hips stacked. And you're really just using the booty to control the leg around in that circle. So your toes should be like naturally falling down towards the floor. Foot is relaxed here. And you're just drawing these super small circles. If you want to make it harder, make the circles bigger. But I don't think you have to. In order to feel real burn, if you're doing this one properly, then you just have to do really small circles. So it's as if you're drawing with the heel, but the control is all coming from the glute. Pulling that thigh bone back into the hip socket and keeping the T-zone super tight. Keep going here. Last one. Bring that knee back in. Oh, can you feel the burn? Alright, let's push over on to our other side. We're going to do those 3 side lying exercises. all again. So nice long leg, arms, shoulders, hips and heels. And we're starting off with that clam 1, which is just opening and closing. So got chin tuck, shoulders down and back, T-zone is tight, heels are squeezing together, and we exhale, peel that knee up. Inhale, knees come back together, T-zone retightens. Exhale, squeeze the heels, squeeze the glute and open. Inhale back down. So keep going with this one, exhaling to open, inhaling to come back down. Make sure that your chin is still slightly tucked, your shoulders are down and back, you haven't collapsed in your waist, you can just push your upper hip down slightly if you do feel like you're collapsing into your waist. T-zone really tight. And just pay attention now on your next one, what is happening with your pelvis? Are you rocking back slightly? Or are you keeping those hips stacked one on top of another? Adjust the movement accordingly. If you're keeping them nicely stacked, can you push that clam open a little bit further? If you're rocking, bring it back smaller. Let's get the quality and the control of the movement. It's not about big movements here. It's about the right muscles being turned on. We can't do that if we're rotating through the hips. Okay, we're going to advance this one now into those kickouts. So this time you're going to inhale to open. Exhale, extend down long. Remember, you can put your arm on your body to make sure that your leg's in line. Knees facing the wall in front of you. And then you bring your heel back together, knees back together with the exhale. So inhale, open, exhale, extend. Inhale, heels together, exhale, knees together. So keep going with this one. So really tightening through the T-zone. Think ribs to hips as you extend out long, pointing through the toe and finding length. Inhale, use that T-zone to really pull those heels back in together. Exhale. Knees together. Inhale, T-zone super tight. It's ready to extend that leg with control. Bringing those heels back in together. Knees back together. Just do a quick body scan for me here. Chin is tucked, shoulders are down and back. Haven't collapsed in our waist. T-zone's tight. Use those fingers to check. We've got the right part of the booty, so this top part of the booty here, that's what's working. Heels together, knees together, keep those ribs in, no arching through the back. Make sure you're still sticking your sit bones out slightly, you've got that neutral spine. You haven't started to tuck your bum under. Heels together, knees together. Beautiful work, keep going. Nice. Okay, so next time that you're extended, you're going to stay out there. And let's do a quick body scan. So chin tucked, shoulders stacked. We're lifted through the waist, T-zone tight, hips stacked. And then just relax the foot, allow the toe to drop down towards the mat, and you'll feel that glute turn on. And now on the next exhale, start to do those circles. So start off really small and get your control of your movement. And then if you're feeling really good in this movement, then you start to make it bigger. T-zone tight. Let's keep all of the power in this T-zone. Nice circles. Shoulders are relaxed. Don't start to tense up in your upper body. It's the booty doing the work and the T-zone that is really clamping in nice and tight, lifting up. The more I drill this into you, the more that you'll get it. And trust me, I drop my T-zone all the time. I realise it's not turned on anymore. It's very difficult without someone verbally telling you to do it, to build that mind-muscle connection. But it will get stronger the more that I keep barking on at you. You lucky things. Keep drawing, we're almost there. Almost there, keep pushing. Little circles. Little circles. Keep the control. Beautiful work. That toe is still relaxed down. And bring the knee in. It's a real burner, isn't it? Okay, so we're finishing off our Pilates with a hinge. So this one is going to be working the front of our thighs, our abs, and our chest and arms. So you're going to be sat up kneeling, bring your bum up, hands are coming out in front. I'll just move back a little bit. And you are squeezing with the booty. T-zone is tight, shoulders down and back. Don't have your shoulders extended out, they're hugged back into the socket. Shoulders down and back, chin tucked. And exhale, you're going to start to lean back. Inhale, tighten through that T-zone. Contract up. Start off really small with this movement, okay? Don't go too far back. Just make it really small to start. Build your confidence. Really small. Keeping that nice body position. Keep those shoulders down and back. Shoulders down and back. Shoulders down and back. Pushing back up. And again. Really focus in on what is happening in the lower half of your body to allow this movement. You've got your quads are obviously having to contract to pull you back up. This is actually a good one to stretch them out as well. T-zone has to stay tight, glutes have to squeeze. They're holding all of your body weight at the moment, which is fantastic. Just relax in the upper back here. Just getting levered around. One more. Okay, well done. That is our Pilates section over with. We're just going to do a quick stretch, okay? So I just want you to have your legs out in front of you. Then bring the right leg up. You're going to cross it over to the other side of that straight leg. And you've probably seen this one before. Back of the arm goes behind the knee and we twist. So no tension in the upper body here. You're really just twisting from that spine. Start to really slow your breathing back down. Bring it all back into the nose. So in and out with the nose. And swapping sides. So come back around to center, bring that other knee up over, right arm goes behind and we twist, and then the other hand can just gently rest behind. Nice slow breathing. And come back around to the center. And we are finished. So well done for completing day 2 of our boot camp. We have 20 sessions in total, so you are 10% of the way through. But you've shown up, you showed your commitment, and it's the consistency that's really going to create change. Okay, so it doesn't matter the intensity of your workout, as long as you have some sort of movement practice every day, or at least a few times a week, then you're going to see change. Trust me, it's consistency. And here you are, so that's fantastic. Okay, and so hopefully I'll see you back here for the next session as well. Look out for that one coming up. If you subscribe and like my channel, then you will see it pop up when I post it. Alright, have a wonderful day. See ya.